Good morning. Welcome to Lee Westwood Sports Centre, Court B, Slater Gordon Championship, and we're just about to get to kick off for Leeds Dynamos versus Norwich City. The team's just doing their final warm-ups as the officials get ready. And this is a top-of-the-table clash at this stage. If Norwich on 7 games, if they win, they'll go to the top of the championship. And Leeds Dynamos, if they win, they will, I think they'll overtake on goal difference Norwich, and they'll still have a game in hand. So a vital game for both teams. Yeah, if Leeds win, it will take them above Norwich on goal difference with Leeds a game in hand. As I just said, repeating myself there. So vital for both teams for their championship aspirations. Both currently in 4th, and Norwich in 4th, Leeds in 5th. We're just waiting for the kick-off. Have a quick look at the squads. I'll go through the squads after we've kicked off and we know who the starting 4 are. There's Leeds for you. Leeds with a 7-man squad. And Norwich, a 6-person squad. While we're waiting, Norwich, not generally big scorers, but they've put a couple of 3s away against teams below them in the division, generally winning a game by a goal or 2. Hence their goal difference is much lower than the teams above them in the table, so they're likely to have to win the tournament on points. Leeds Dynamos, again winning games by a goal or 2 generally, and again their goal difference is very similar to Norwich's, so probably going to have 2 pretty closely matched teams here, and it's unlikely to be high scoring, but of course commentators are always wrong. Yesterday there was a fantastic match with Man City. I think it's the highest score they've got in the National League, winning by 4. Just giving them a little air gap to the relegation zone. Right, here comes the ref. So just waiting for kick-off now. This Slater and Gordon Championship match between Leeds Dynamos and Norwich City, with the stream powered by MK batteries. They've lost the ref again. The match on Court A is 10 minutes in at this stage, although it's all, we are a few minutes behind on this court, but we can't be far away. I'm not sure what the ref's discussing. It's probably off shot. Right, here we go. He's blown the whistle. He's drawing the captains in for the Coin toss. He's dropped it. It's got under the chair. Is he going to do it again? Yeah. No, he's called it. Right. So it looks like they're going to be, as they were, Norwich playing towards us, Leeds playing away from us, with the kick-off, I think, going to Leeds yet, the way people are set up. So we'll wait for kick-off and then I'll take you through the players on the pitch and on the bench. And we're off. So Leeds playing away in white, Humphreys in goal, Chadwick in the middle. Just lost sight of them. Humphreys in white, Chadwick in the middle. On the left, Lambert, and on the right, Taylor. And playing towards us, Norwich City. In goal, Murgatroyd. In the middle, Coleman. On the left, Burnett. And on the right, George. And on the bench for Leeds, it's Copeland, McNaughton and Stewart. On the bench for Norwich, Edwards and Fulcher. So Norwich making an early attack. Coleman gets the ball past Humphreys, picks it off, but Chadwick's picked it up. Ball gone behind Chadwick. It's gone out for a goal. No, he's played it off. So it's a corner to Norwich. Murgatroyd up for the corner. So a bit of toing and froing between George and Humphreys. They've got that locked up. There's no way that was getting past Chadwick or Humphreys, but it's now come out for a kick in with a slightly higher angle. Again, they've got that block. They could just see them adjusting the chairs very slightly. Chadwick and Humphreys to cut Murgatroyd off. Fires it in again off the post. Humphreys driving away. Lambert backed off. I think the ref's holding his fingers up. I think he's going to give it to Norwich if... Oh no. So Murgatroyd and George must have created the 2-on-1 as Humphreys drove the ball upfield there. Humphreys for Leeds. Off Lambert trying to find Taylor. Burnett gets the ball off Chadwick, and it's now a kick in to Leeds. Coleman for Norwich tries to let that go, but Taylor intercepts. Now Lambert on the ball, driving it past Coleman. Both teams trying to put together some passing moves. You'd expect and hope for that from two teams in the top half of the table at this stage. There were only three game days in. This is the fourth match day. Taylor looking to get it across there, but Murgatroyd's cut it off. So ball's gone out on the high on the right wing for Leeds. All of the Leeds players in the Norwich half. Humphreys nominated goalie to Taylor, back to Humphreys. George come out to cut him off. Now just Chadwick and Humphreys behind the ball, but the ball's gone out. It's a Norwich ball. Burnett swinging there, didn't look like he knew what was behind him, and went straight to Humphreys, but again Norwich showing their counter-attacking instinct there. Chadwick plays the ball off Coleman. It's gone out for a kick in to Leeds. Chadwick, ooh, nearly got it past George. That would have been on for Lambert, probably then to cross to Taylor, who looks like he's got an open goal on the far left of the Leeds attacking position. Oh, fabulous hit by Chadwick to Lambert. Picked the pace of the ball up very rapidly. The chance for possibly either Humphreys or Lambert, but it didn't get to them. Sorry, Taylor it was. Anyway, the ball immediately back up now in the Leeds half. That's one of the disadvantages. If you pick the pace of the ball up quickly, it can also get to the back into your half very quickly, as it has done here. But Norwich's attack foiled. Now George and Taylor fighting it out in the middle of the park. It's not yet clear if there's going to be a dominant scrap in the middle. Sometimes you get teams where two centre players face off against each other the whole match. But quite fluid structure from both Norwich and Leeds. It's not a consistent face-off yet, although as ever throughout his career, Coleman playing a central playmaking role for Norwich. But George also stepping in between the two of them. He's rotating, and if Murgatroyd comes up, Coleman drops back. He's just trying to get control of the ball there. Played it off Humphreys, so it's now a kick in to Norwich. Ref stopped it for something. Hit straight into the defensive wall there. A fluky ricochet, might have seen it off Chadwick and Humphreys and into the goal, but best you can hope for really is the ball comes back to you there. Humphreys to Chadwick. Chadwick's played it for Taylor. Front bumpers it to pick the speed up. Chadwick to Lambert. Lambert finding pace. Taylor had gone too far back. Chadwick couldn't get in there. Chadwick, big hit. Oh my goodness. Just the slightest of nudges, and Murgatroyd saves fabulously. So Leeds with that landing. The first blow with shot on target had to be saved. Norwich. Oh, that must be a finish by Lambert. Yes. So Humphreys pounced there. Murgatroyd playing it out for Burnett. Humphreys read it, front bumpered it to Taylor on the left. Murgatroyd had to come to meet Taylor, but Taylor paid it round Murgatroyd to Lambert, who had an open goal. So Leeds 1, Norwich 0. Hayden Lambert with the assister, Harrison Taylor. So we were saying earlier on, the teams generally winning. The Leeds and Norwich generally winning by 1 or 2 goals. 6th and 7th in the table. Chance for Norwich to go top if they win. This being the first game of Sunday morning, and Leeds can overtake Norwich on goal difference if they beat Norwich. I'm just trying to put the table up there. There you can see there. So Norwich, has it updated? I don't think it's updated, no. Yes, it has. So it shows Leeds above Norwich, 4th and 5th. So if they come back, Norwich can get into 2nd. Actually, I thought I said 1st. Have I done my sums wrong? No, they would go on to 19. Yeah. 1-0 to Leeds against Norwich. 10 minutes into the first half. Leeds just edging it in terms of territorial, probably not territorial possession, but ball possession and chances. Norwich yet to create a chance, but been regularly pushing up into the Leeds half. Not been able to get past the defence of Humphreys and Chadwick. Also had a substitution. Norwich still as they were. And Jack McNaughton is on for Harrison Taylor. Ref blowing for heavy contact there. So Humphreys, last man back for Leeds, plays it to Lambert. Lambert across, looking for McNaughton on the far wing, didn't find him. Coleman hits it out. Not sure it was a goal that lifted Leeds' confidence, but there'd been a sequence of plays where they'd been hitting the ball harder and more accurately, and they're continuing that now, and that's just turned the screw slightly on Norwich. They're having to defend more than attack at the moment. So kick on the edge of the box. Ref just checking the distances. Humphreys and McNaughton having a tactical discussion. Humphreys just looking for a little bit of change of position from the players. He's calling the play here. Oh, oof. So it looked like the plan there was to put the ball into the middle with the expectation that Murgatroyd or Coleman come in and touch it, but then leave a gap through which Humphreys could kick the ball. But Humphreys and Coleman and Murgatroyd came together almost perfectly, closed the gap down, and now Humphreys attacking onto the bumpers, but he's been given a foul against him for driving in onto the side of their bumpers. Shaking his head, he doesn't like the decision, but it is what it is. Oh, that's the second time. So first goal from Leeds was a Slightly wayward goal kick from Murgatroyd, and another one there allowing Leeds to move on to it. It just gives Leeds an opportunity with the Norwich players slightly out of position to kind of play their patterns of play. Can't do that too often, Leeds. Sorry, Norwich. As we've said in this second 10 minutes of the first half, Leeds have now picked up the pressure. Coleman having to do much more work in the centre as the defender for Norwich, but now he's taken it past Chadwick, driven it away. It's 3-on-1. Burnett had to drive away there to avoid the 2-on-1, but Coleman not able to get it out to George, and it's gone out for a goal kick. Little subtle nod there from Chadwick to Humphreys to thank him for his defensive work. Humphreys to Chadwick, Chadwick a touch to Lambert, Lambert to Taylor, to McNaughton. This is what we're expecting. McNaughton fires in. Has another shot, so it came off Murgatroyd. McNaughton fired again onto Coleman's bumper. It's now out for a kick in to Leeds. Leeds, everyone in the Norwich half again. Norwich with the three-man wall on the far post. McNaughton unable to make contact. So we've had a couple of goal kicks from Murgatroyd that have gone straight to a Leeds player and opened up a Leeds attack. It's happened again. Ooh, this time Lambert went for goal. Murgatroyd had it covered. It's kind of seemed to be some gesticulation from Murgatroyd to the coaching staff. Obviously, whatever that goal kick plan is, it's not coming off the way they want it to, but they're repeating it. Humphreys and Coleman now. Coleman again doing the work to bring the ball up for Norwich. George and Burnett, the players he's looking for, move it to them for them to have a striking chance. Taylor to McNaughton, McNaughton off, though he was going to score anyway, but it just touched the bumper of Murgatroyd and went in. I think I said Taylor there, it was Chadwick passed to McNaughton. So 2-0 to Leeds. 3 minutes left this first half in the Slater Gordon Championship. So this will be a disappointing outcome if this persists for Norwich. They had a chance to go top. It's looking like that's drifting away, but Leeds putting down credentials to be in that championship fight themselves. Just 2 points off the top, although they're lying in fourth on goal difference. And to date, generally these teams have won or lost by only a goal or two, so a 2-goal gap's quite a big gap for Norwich to make up given their previous performances so far. This is the 7th game for Leeds and the 8th game for Norwich. Burnett for Norwich. Chadwick takes it off them. Chadwick now driving towards the Norwich left-hand goal, left-hand post. Hannah and Murgatroyd and George locked it up for Norwich. George playing a bit of cat and mouse with the ball, slightly dangerous within his own box, but it's gone out for it's got it out for a kick in, but it's a Leeds kick in. McNaughton's come across. Lewis Harris and Dan Rigby, the Leeds coaches, gesticulating a lot to get the players set up the way they've obviously trained. Murgatroyd passing instructions onto Burnett. I've just seen Edwards has come on and Coleman's off. Missed that substitution. So for Norwich, Edwards on, Coleman off. Ref trying to sort out the defensive wall. 3 in the wall. George, Murgatroyd, Burnett, McNaughton. Doesn't really want to. There's no gap there, but it broke through. Bit of deflection. I think he's going to go for 3 in the box. Is it? I think as he came across, Burnett went into the box. So it's a kick for Leeds. Dying seconds of this first half. Slater Gordon Championship. Leeds in the ascendancy at 2-0. Takes them above Norwich on goal difference. Every goal they score is worth 2 in this match, in that place in the table. So different setup. McNaughton on the ball. Lambert in between George and Murgatroyd. Just it needs a touch because it's indirect. Nope. McNaughton hits off Murgatroyd. It's gone out for a kick in. Clock's at 0. It's with the ref Jeff Lewis. Chadwick just trying to hold a space. Murgatroyd asking Burnett to just push a bit further up. Ball slipped free between Murgatroyd and George, but no pace on it. Lambert unable to do anything, and that's it. So Leeds coming out top there, 2-0. A fairly even match initially, then a slightly wayward goal kick by Murgatroyd, pounced on by Humphreys, passing across the Leeds team, and then able to finish. And then well finished pass later on. So 2-0 to Leeds in the Slater Gordon Championship. We'll be back with the stream powered by NK batteries in the second half. Welcome back to the second half of this Slater Gordon Championship match. Leeds Dynamos versus Norwich City. Leeds leading 2-0. It's Nick Woodward speaking, and the stream is powered by MK batteries. There we go, second half underway. First half was kind of not cagey, both teams playing well, moving up and down the pitch, not many opportunities created, and then goal kick from Norwich was pounced upon by Leeds to open their scoring, and then a well-worked passing move later on to make it 2-0. That means Leeds have leapfrogged Norwich in the table, and Norwich currently look like they're going to forego an opportunity to go top. If they could win this match, they'd go top of the championship. Coleman, big hit across the goal. First real chance of power from Norwich, so coming out differently from the most of the first half. Some changes for Leeds. I'll go through their squad. So facing us, Copeland in goal, Stewart on their left, Chadwick in the middle, and Taylor on their right, our left as we look at it. On the bench, McNaughton, Lambert and Humphreys. And Norwich, Murgatroyd in goal, currently on the ball for the kick-in. Burnett as captain, number 15, 11. George in the middle. Edwards on the far left, just not quite getting an opportunity there for a far shot goal. And on the bench, Coleman and Fulcher. So the pattern of play in the first half was generally Coleman picking the ball up for Norwich and taking it forwards. Chadwick and Humphreys solid in defence for Leeds, and then Chadwick making the play. Now we're switched up, Chadwick and Copeland in goal for Leeds. Quick pass by Copeland, finds Taylor on Leeds left wing. Taylor and George, ball locked up between them. George managed to break it free, but Chadwick's on him and locked up again. George doesn't quite manage to... Is it still in? It's still in, it's still in. They've gone out for a goal kick. They rolled all the way down the line there without going out. So first few minutes of this second half, Norwich with all the pressure. I'd said up to this point, both teams played 7 matches for Leeds, 8 for Norwich, and they've only won by 1 or 2 goals in the games they've won. So a 2-goal leading margin is considerable, given the context of their other performances so far. Leeds looking to create something. Norwich, Murgatroyd looking for Burnett, found him, hits the ball straight out, and it's a goal kick. So Leeds haven't really escaped from their goal kicks so far, so the ball's going either direct to one of the wingers or to Chadwick, who touches it on to the wingers, but Norwich have closed it down a lot. The ball doesn't break for Edwards there, big hit by Chadwick, kick's gone. So Chadwick with a kick for Leeds. Murgatroyd signalling Burnett to get up from the pitch, away from defence, so they can make a fast transition. Taylor looking for Stewart. No, Stewart's missed a substitution there. So Stewart on for Leeds. Lambert off. I miscalled the team earlier on. So Leeds team is Stewart, Chadwick, Taylor and Copeland, with the benches Humphreys, Lambert and McNaughton. Ooh, Chadwick rescued it really well there. Was going out for a goal kick. He's brought it back in, forced Murgatroyd to play it and won the corner. There's quite a big gap in front of George here. Should be clear on the camera angle. So Chadwick with a lot of space to play either to Taylor or Stewart. Ooh, great hit. Taylor not able to connect with it. If connected with it, I think it would have diverted it to Stewart with a chance to put it straight in on the back post, but it didn't happen. Ball's gone out for a kick for Norwich, more or less on the right hand side near the halfway line. Murgatroyd, George trying to play it down the wing to Edwards, doesn't come off. Now Taylor and George lock the ball up between them. Murgatroyd quite vocal, trying to get the Norwich players to switch up their positions a bit more, be less static. George plays it across the goal, it comes off Chadwick, and again this time it's off Copeland. It's a kick into Norwich. So got three Leeds players, Chadwick, Copeland and Taylor, stacked up to defend the kick in. Slight gap from Copeland to Taylor, that'll be where George is aiming. Norwich haven't really put a pivot in that, and they got Edwards on the far side, but they haven't got a pivot to be able to get it to him. It's back to George. George plays the ball into the defensive. Oh, I thought he hit a Leeds player there, didn't, so it's gone out for a goal kick straight off George. Stewart. That's a not entirely convincing hit towards goal there. Murgatroyd played it out. Taylor's come in and locked it up with George. George trying to play the ball out off Taylor, but it's kept it in and now puts it in a slightly more precarious position. Taylor and Murgatroyd in the middle of the box. Ball's locked up between them. Taylor trying to keep it moving. Trying to get it between George and Murgatroyd. They should be able to close it out. It's gone out for a... Again, George trying to get it out for a kick in off the bumper of Taylor, but it didn't work. But he's now moved up the field with it towards Chadwick. Chadwick and George locked up just on the halfway line. Ball's gone out, given to Leeds. So having had a bit of ascendancy at the start of this second half, Norwich now under the cosh from Leeds. Back with a goal kick. I think something's happened with the chair. So change of keeper top. So I think something's happened with Murgatroyd's chair there, so Norwich switching up. Murgatroyd's gone off, Coleman's on. And George has taken over the keeper position. George to Burnett. Burnett looking for Edwards. Is he going to hit it on the swing? No. And substitution, Humphreys on, Stewart off for Leeds. And Burnett. Fulcher on for Norwich. Burnett off. So kick for George, finds Coleman, who's looking for Fulcher. Fulcher back to George, but Humphreys has picked it off George's bumper. Driving down the Leeds wing. Coleman trying to disrupt the play. So I think we'll have a bit of added time because of that delay in the substitutions, but we're into last 10 minutes on the clock now. 2-on-1 flagged, I think, for the ref. He's playing advantage. So time running out for Norwich. 2-on-1. Couldn't quite tell who committed the 2-on-1, but Norwich giving away the free kick there. Chadwick on the ball, Copeland deep in goal, but Chadwick and Humphreys with Taylor on the right wing for Leeds. Taylor completely free. Fulcher giving Humphreys a bit of difficulty. Ball's gone straight out. Thumbs up there from the Leeds coaches. That was obviously a move they've planned. It wasn't a miss hit, just players not quite in the right positions to pull it off. Big hit by Chadwick, massive rebound though. Goal by Edwards. So, I mean, we spoke earlier about one of the benefits of the Leeds style of play is hitting it hard and moving the ball fast. They can work it around the opposition very quickly. But by the same token, a slight misfire there. Ricochet off Coleman, went straight to Edwards, who was able to finish before Copeland could react at all in the Leeds goal. So 2-1. 2-1 to Leeds. I'm not sure the goal's registered. Try again. Yep, there we go. Graphics up to date now. 2-1 to Leeds. Ooh, nearly a straight response from Leeds. Comes off George's bumper, so 5 minutes in it now. Taylor, it's a straight off George, back for a kick in. So if Norwich can bring this back to a draw, they'll stay ahead of Leeds and go into third. If Leeds can hold on, the table will stay as it currently is live. Leeds in fourth, Norwich on fifth, with just a goal separating them on goal difference. So it's a really, really tight match. Just showing how closely these teams are matched, just given where they are in the table. Leeds do have the advantage of a game in hand over Norwich. Humphreys with a hit, goes to Coleman. Coleman for Norwich. Given the slight run around there by Humphreys, who's taken the ball off him. Humphreys. George having to be careful there on the edge of the Norwich box. Doesn't want to create a 2-on-1, but he's kept Humphreys out of it. Pressure on from Leeds here. If they can swing it. Fulcher does okay there. Ball's off Chadwick now there. Bit of nerves creeping in. Leeds coaches immediately pointing to Edwards, who's staying that high wing and giving Leeds the transition chance at pace. Chance for Norwich again with a kick in. Taylor's now, he's been playing high most of the game, dropped all the way back to sit on Edwards. Coleman, Fulcher, comes off Chadwick. Now Humphreys and Coleman lock it up. Humphreys driving towards the Leeds goal, blocked off by Coleman. Officials signalling there for kick in. Leeds coaches move out the way. Coleman trying to find Edwards. Taylor picks it up, but Coleman's back on it to Fulcher, but Humphreys intervened. 2-on-1, Taylor and Humphreys. A little bit of edginess, looks like it's creeping into Leeds play here. That was a mistake they didn't need to make. Gives Norwich a set piece opportunity. George on the ball. Fulcher and Edwards on the wing. Coleman playing pivot. George, Coleman, just hits it straight to it. Humphreys there, so another chance just fades away. But Edwards looking, George looking for Edwards. Just a couple of inches the wrong side of Edwards. He had to come back for it, so took the pace off. Refs playing advantage, let the advantage go. So Humphreys on George. Humphreys trying to get the ball off George, but Coleman's now into defence. Chadwick with a strike towards Taylor. Taylor across, Humphreys. Great touch by Coleman. I don't think Taylor was quite in the right position, but he would have had an opportunity there for a strike on goal, but Coleman tipped it away. Ball's now back in the middle. 90 seconds left. 2-1 to Leeds. As a result of this, they've leapfrogged Norwich in the table. But just a goal, Norwich will go back, not just above them, but above Villa Rockets to go into third. So concentration required from everyone here. Taylor just keeping the ball tied up. I'm not sure anyone's watching the clock, but this is running the clock down fabulously from Leeds' point of view. Humphreys and Coleman. Coleman trying to break away. Humphreys backs off just a little late, giving a signal to Chadwick that they have to work very hard there to get the ball, but they've got it back off Coleman. Coleman coming back to defend it. A lot of Norwich support above me, and sitting where I am in the commentary position, I can hear them cheering Norwich on. A clash there. Ooh. Can hear the groans there. That tap of contact by Coleman gives Leeds the chance of a kick. And there will be some added time. There was a chair incident and quite a few substitutions, but this should be enough for Leeds to see it out. They just need to concentrate, not do anything silly. Ball to Humphreys. Humphreys spins round, takes it towards Coleman, locks it up. Taylor plays it off bumper. 2-on-1 given. Leeds. No, Norwich. So Edwards and Coleman. Edwards just raised his hand to apologise. Leeds on the ball. The buzzer's gone, the timer's out, so it's with the ref. Well read by George. Oh, George came right out to take it off Taylor. But as a result, he's out of position. Taylor didn't quite get it under control. Norwich recover. Still quite frantic. But in a way, Norwich have to be. Norwich have got kind of no time left for chances. But the goal could be material to them. Ref's looking at his watch. Humphreys and George locked up. So I think, you know, the two centre players in the end stood out for me, but I tip it to Chadwick for consistent performance throughout this game. Just keeping the ball moving fast for Leeds, just allowing that little extra bit of pressure for Leeds, which I think has paid out over the length of the game. There we go. So top half clash. Leeds come out on top 2-1, having gone up 2-0 in the first half. Disappointing for Norwich, unable to get to the top of the table as a result. Dropped down one position now below Leeds, but still both Leeds in 4th, Norwich in 5th. But both showing potential championship credentials here if they can turn over some results against teams above them. So thank you for watching the Slater Gordon Championship match, with Leeds coming out 2-1 winners over Norwich on this stream, which is powered by MK Batteries.